Oh.
Hi, Ram.
Sai Ram. I will just recap what we discussed last week.
Yeah.
So we discussed that the Bharatiyas do not accept the belief that the world was created a few thousand years ago and that it would be destroyed at some point in the future. And they also do not accept that the world has come out of a state of nothingness. Bharatiyas believe that Prakriti is without a beginning or end. And according to the prescribed rules of evolution, the external gross world will recede into the subtle form and then into the causal state. And then again, it will manifest again in manifold ways. Some may believe that one branch of the Vedas are more holy than others, but in spite of this, all are brothers and have equal rights to the methodology of the Vedas. And the Vedas are concerned with and expound upon Ishvara, who created the universe, protects it, and in whom it merges again. And although people may have different beliefs about the nature of Ishvara, some might picture him with human characteristics, some without these characteristics. Some may believe he is one with form, and others believe he is one without form. But each of these viewpoints can find support in the Vedas. And Swami ends by saying that in order for someone to be called a Bharatiya or to be called a Hindu, they have to have the belief in this Shakti, which is without a beginning or an end. And they should believe that everything is established in that Shakti and that all has to merge in it again at the end.
Sairam Kalyani, very nice. Very good. Thanks.
Oh, no problem.
So shall we go to the next chapter?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, it's religion is experience. This wave-like movement of proceeding and receding, of merging and emerging, has been happening since time. It will happen till time ends. It is eternal in its feature. This is the belief of Bharatiyas. Man is not just this gross body. In it, there is a subtle component called mind. Inside it, as its prompter and spring. There is an even more subtle principle called the Jivatma, individualized soul. This Jivatma has neither beginning or end. It knows no death, it has no birth. This is the basis of the Bharatiya faith.
Okay. Shall I read Telugu? Sai Satish, are you
Sure,
going?
Auntie. Yeah.
ఈ తరంగ రూప గమనము అనాది సిద్ధమై శాశ్వత రూపమై అనంతకాల పర్యంతము సాగుచు ఉండునని భారతీయుల విశ్వాసము.
It is the belief of the Bharatiyas that and is it wave-like movement? Is that the thing?
Wave-like movement, but actually Swami is referring to the Jivatma, which is encased in a body, goes and comes. That is the thing. And I don't know, the first sentence is not...
The wave-like is works here because he is trying to represent the body coming and going, right? It's like a rotation.
But in the first sentence, it is not mentioned clearly. Yeah. Yeah, Sai Satish, go ahead. Please.
Auntie, maybe word by word, Auntie, if
Sure.
that helps. Yes, Auntie.
Taranga Rupa Gamanamu.
In the form of waves.
Ah,
Rupa
Gama-
Gamanam, Auntie. Gamanam is
the going and coming back.
Okay.
Movement.
Agamanam. Gamanam is to go, Agamanam is to come. So
yeah. The wave-like movement which goes and comes.
Anadi Siddhamai, it has been
Forever.
it has been Siddhamai, Shashvat Rupamai, eternal.
As an eternal form.
Ananta Kalya Kala Paryantamu.
Unending and timeless, is it? Auntie?
It goes up to Ananta Kalam, beginningless and
Time
Yeah,
immortal.
endless time.
endless
Yeah.
time. It will go on. Sagu Chundanenu, it will go on.
It will go on.
Bharatiya Vishwasamu.
That is the belief of the Bharatiyas.
Yes. Swami, what he means is here as Jivatma, which is encased in a body, goes and comes, goes and comes. That's what he is trying. He is comparing it to the wave-like movement. Okay. Yeah. Next. Manavudu Kevala Stula Sharira Matru Kadu.
Human being is not the gross body alone.
Ee Stula Shariramulo
In this gross body,
Manassane Sukshma Shariramu
there is a subtle form called the mind.
Wakati Kaladu.
It is not just one. Is that Auntie? Okati?
Manassane Sukshma Shariramu Wakati. There is one more thing, one which exists.
There's one another.
That is Kaladu. Kaladu, it is there.
It is there. Yeah.
Dani lopala antakanna mahitamaina.
Within that, there is something that is far more superior.
Yeah. Mahitamaina vastu inkokati kaladi. Aniyu.
There is one more superior being that is within that. That is what is said.
Adi stula sukshma shariramalu renditiki atitamai.
It is beyond the realm of the gross and the subtle.
Undunadi.
It is established there.
It is there. Jivatma annunadi kuda kaladaniyu.
It is also known as the Jivatma.
Daniki adyantamulo levaniyu.
There is no beginning and end for that.
Adi maranamune matane erugudu.
There is the very word called death doesn't apply to it.
Erugudaniyu Bharatiya Paramarthamu. This is the Bharatiya.
That is the faith of the Bharatiyas.
Yes, yeah. That's all. Actually, merging and emerging, it applies to the wave. But once when the Jivatma merges, it will not emerge again. Isn't that?
But that's not exactly what he was talking in this paragraph, right? I think in this paragraph, we're just trying to explain in the gross body, there are something like mind and the Atma. Atma doesn't have any death and birth.
Yeah.
It's immortal. I think the coming and going, I mean, he didn't say anything yet, but I think that's what he's preparing, providing a prelude kind of introduction.
Okay. Actually, Jivatma has no beginning, no end.
Yeah.
It knows no death.
Yep.
But only the body dies.
Yeah.
It takes birth again.
Yeah, for Jivatma, there is nothing. It doesn't have anything like death for this.
It's only the death of the body.
Sakhu auntie has a hand.
Yeah, please go ahead, Sakwanti. Sai Rama.
I need clarity on this sentence. Man is not just this gross body. In it, there's a subtle component called mind. Inside it, as its prompter and spring, there is an even more subtle principle called Jivatma.
Individuals.
I would like to know what does it mean? Inside the mind, the Jivatma is the more subtler principle is inside the mind, the Jivatma.
See, gross body is Sthula Sharira. All of you know that.
Yeah.
Sthula Sharira it refers to completely our outer body with all our bones and muscles and all those things which are Annamaya Kosha. That's fully gross body. Inside that gross body, there is a subtle body. That subtle body is called mind.
Mind. Inside it. So inside the mind or
actually the reflection of the mind, reflection of that Paramatma is in the mind only. That's what where it is reflected, it's called that Jivatma.
I think to Auntie's question,
inside the mind, as it's a prompter and spring, there's even more subtle principle called Jivatma. So it is inside the mind.
Deeper inside the mind. This is
the first time I'm learning this.
That Chaitanya, what we call Chaitanya.
Auntie, if you don't mind, can you just that sentence where it is told about the subtle principle, can you just read only that line in Telugu, Auntie? Just trying to see.
ఈ స్థూల శరీరములో మనస్సనే సూక్ష్మ శరీరము ఒకటి కలదనియు, దాని లోపల అంతకన్నా మహితమైన వస్తువు ఇంకొకటి కలదనియు, అది స్థూల సూక్ష్మ శరీరం రెండిటికి అతీతమై ఉండునది జీవాత్మ అన్నది కూడా కలదని. She is getting confused because it is inside the mind. It is written in that's why she is getting. Actually,
one is Andy. One is in terms of what we say within. For example, the tree is contained within the seed. Do we agree to that kind of a thing? So that way, I'm just trying to put it in a framework. What Mani Auntie also was mentioning that in terms of what we see as Swami also says in the same line that this is atitam, this is beyond the gross and the subtle. In the same line, Swami says it is beyond that. So it is the way we perceive. So if we were to travel from the realm of the gross to the subtle to the causal, from the point of view of seeing, like there are these Russian dolls. If we take Russian dolls, say one within the other kind of a thing, we will obviously be prone to thinking that the outermost doll is the one that contains the rest of the dolls. That is normal. Intuitively, we will think it that way. But if we see the innermost doll is the basis for anything to form on the outer and reflect the outside one. So though we say that it is contained within from the part of the Jivatma and the Paramatma, like what Auntie mentioned, it is just a reflection of that Paramatman within the body as the Jivatman. So that thing of within is, I think when it's being told in the context of the mind, maybe for lack of better translation, it is getting translated as something that is within the mind. But what it can also mean is it is the very source from which everything emerges.
That's good.
Okay.
Yes, good.
So it means within the body.
Within the
mind.
Within the mind. Body is the outer coat.
So within the mind, this is a reflection.
Yeah, it is a reflection of the Paramatma. That is called Jivatma.
Actually,
okay, Porpa.
Sorry, Andy. Now, just elongating along the lines that we say that the body is the gross form of the mind and mind is subtle form of the body. So like that, in terms of what we can say of the mind, at one level, it is a gross reflection of the Jivatman in that sense. It's a very, that is the closest that we can get to in terms of something that is tangible. So it's a very, yeah, and I don't know if the word within can be confusing there, but
that's confusing. That's confusing. In it, inside it, it is written. So what you said, within everything. See the outer body, Shakuji, outer body is our Stula Sharira.
Yeah.
Inside is our Manas, that is Antakarana. And beyond these two, beyond this Stula Sharira, beyond this Sukshma Sharira, there is one more thing called very, very super thing, the
that is causal.
That is causal body. That's causal body. Even beyond causal body, there is another mode, another thing.
So it is not confined within the mind.
No, it's not. In fact, that Chaitanya is one which is enlivening all the parts of the body.
Yeah, this is how I understood, but now I got a little bit confused here.
Inside it made you, I think you confused it inside it.
But I think, so, Auntie, I think even Telugu, I think, I know we will be talking about the Jiva, Paramatma and all those things, but in this chapter, at least in this first paragraph, Swami just introducing there is a gross body, within there is a
subtle body.
Subtle body called mind. Within that, there is something very precious that is called Atma. So Sakka Auntie's question, in this particular paragraph, Swami is saying the Atma is part of the mind. So maybe that's what he is at this point. He was talking.
Because I thought mind is not within, inside the mind.
Is where the Atma
body,
is.
Soul.
Yeah.
Prasad Garu, one more thing you have to remember. Here Swami is saying it is something beyond Stula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira. Beyond this gross body and subtle body, there's one more thing.
Yeah.
Within
it is inside, but it is not inside the mind.
No, not exactly in the mind.
Thank you. That is what I want to know, because there's no place you can say where the Jivatma is situated.
But actually, according to Vedanta, what it says is that the reflection of the Paramatman is reflected in the mind. That's what they say. Then the mind, where he is there, it's called Chidabhasa. That Chidabhasa is the Atman, Jivatman. That Jivatman enlivens the whole body. It gives Chaitanya to every part of the body. First it reflects there, and then it goes on. But here what Swami is saying, that Jivatma is much more beyond these two shariras, Sukshma Sharira, Stula and Sukshma Sharira. It's beyond it. Atitamai, he says.
So this inside it is inside the whole form.
Yeah, it spreads all over the body. There is Chaitanya
inside it, not the mind. It doesn't connect to the mind.
So maybe we can. Do we know where is the mind?
Yes, exactly.
Do we know? Because that is, I think maybe that can help us understand where is the Atman, right? So where is the mind?
I think Auntie, what I'm saying is in this where I'm so coming to Auntie's lines is man is not just this gross body. ఈ స్థూల శరీరంలో మనస్సు అనే సూక్ష్మ శరీరం ఒకటి కలదని you just making a point. There is something called subtle bodies also exist called mind. దాని లోపల, I mean within the mind, there is something much more beyond this gross and soul, like a Jivatma. So in a way, he was kind of saying there is something called Jivatma within the mind, which is above and beyond of these two bodies. Right? In a way, in this paragraph, he was kind of saying within the mind only for now.
Yes, brother. I see several hands up actually. So maybe
one by one.
Yani, you had your hand first up, then we can go to the others. And yeah.
Okay, for me, I have not yet.
Auntie, I think all of them are coming to your question. I think you have raised a very valid question. Everybody is in search of both the mind and the Atman. We will find it today. If not today, we will find it soon.
Yeah.
Surely.
Otherwise, it will be a disaster.
Yes, Sarah, I was just going to maybe add, I think when we're saying something is inside something else, our tendency, like Brother Satish was mentioning earlier, is to think that the first thing is larger and contains the other thing. But I think when it comes to like Stula, Sukshma, and Karana, each one, as you get more subtle, it becomes more expansive. So it's kind of like when Swami, for example, the theme of our pilgrimage was Ashanti to Prashanti. So in one of the quotes, Swami was actually saying, in Ashanti, you find Prashanti. In Prashanti, you find Prakanti. And in Prakanti, you find Param Jyoti. So I think you can go into something, and when you go into that thing, it becomes more expansive and you actually transcend that thing.
Yeah.
For example, if you think about a rose and the fragrance of a rose, so the fragrance, you can say that the fragrance is within the rose, but the fragrance is more expansive.
Exactly. So Atma is the subtlest, which can expand to any length and breadth.
Yeah. Thanks, sister.
Thank you.
Sister Narmata, you have your hand up. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually going to say the same thing in different way, but yeah, because as you mentioned, brother, so when we realize the Atma, it kind of expands and envelopes everything. So as you said, our Jivatma is the reflection of Paramatma.
Yeah.
And then mind becomes the reflection of the Jivatma once we uncover it, like discover it. So it expands and it covers it. I think that's what it is. As you go deeper and deeper, you experience bliss in that sense. So it's not when the meaning of within doesn't mean it's smaller. It's kind of the body is covering everything like that. It's just expands. That's my understanding. So Kalyani explained it very nicely. Thank you.
Thanks, sister. I think
Sairam, just my thought is here. This we always now all this time we are studying, right? We are Atma. So we have to realize we are not the gross body, right?
Yeah.
And then we say, oh, mind, all the four segments are there, manas, buddhi, ahanga. We realize that also we are not that even.
Yeah, no,
we have to go beyond my body, mind, then you will understand Atma. That is the reason Swami started with the man is not just a gross body.
Yeah.
So not a subtle body. So beyond that. So that is the Atma. So that's how I'm reading it, this one.
Exact location of the mind, we don't know where it is. Exact location, but Atma, we feel, we experience.
We have to go beyond.
Every moment of our life. So that is present everywhere, all over the body. But exact location of mind, exact location of Atma, we do. We can't.
Auntie, I think we have to go beyond, not inside even. Beyond.
That's Turiya. First of all, Stula, Sukshma, Karana, and then there's one more thing is called Turiya. That is consciousness. That is that Atman.
Thanks, Auntie. I think Auntie has found the answer in the meantime. Yes, Auntie. Auntie, you still have your...
But you asked a question, where is the mind situated? So you cannot find that. Where is Buddhi then?
Buddhi is also...
Exactly. So that is where, when we go, we have Stula, Sukshma, Karana, and we have Mahakarana.
Turiya. That's
called... which is, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, and Turiya. So in that realm, what I'm trying to say, Auntie, is when we cannot even point at the level of the mind and say where it is, how can we point and say the level of the Atman, which is beyond the ken and understanding of the mind and the senses?
This is like Anakosha.
Annamaya Kosha, yes, as we
Annamaya
traverse.
Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, like that.
Yes, Auntie. So if
you cannot say where it is spread all over the body.
Chaitanya is all over the body. That consciousness which is inside us, which is the reflection of the Paramatman, that is all over our body. It is felt all over. This experience tells us.
Again, I think Sister Vani had her hand up. Sister, were you going to say something in this regard?
Yeah, I was going to say, brother, that it's the Manonmaya Kosha. Mind is considered as the Manonmaya Kosha. I think the point was already raised. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sister. So we have again the same thing: Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, and Anandamaya Kosha, right? So as we go from the gross, again, it's becoming subtle and subtle and subtler and subtlest kind of a thing. And that is where, when we say within and without, they are some things that we understand in a very gross terminology. For example, even for the elements, we say that from the Atman came the sky, from sky came wind, from wind came fire, from fire came water, from water came earth, right? We perceive earth. But now earth, when it is emerged from water, that means water is larger than earth. And if water emerged from fire, fire is larger than water. Because if something is emerging from something, that is the source. The other is what has formed out of that basis, right? So that is smaller in nature. Beyond the fire, you get wind. That means wind is stronger than fire. And beyond wind, you get the ether. And beyond ether, you get Atman. So in terms of when we say within, our conception of understanding within means something that is contained, but actually it is the other way, something that contains.
Or something.
Emergent and emerging. This is what you are saying. From the Parabrahman, how all the
5 elements.
The elements came, and then from elements to back to the Parabrahma.
So if something has emerged from something,
yeah,
what has emerged?
Yeah.
That is basis, that is the causal, that is the prima causal.
Yeah.
Everything else comes from that and goes back into that. That's what Swami was telling in the earlier chapter. So even
there's no special location for the subtle body or the causal body.
So for when that supracausal is there everywhere, how do you say it is there only here?
Yeah.
When it is in everybody, how can you say that it is only in somebody? It is in everybody.
Yeah.
So that is where the Paramatman, you cannot localize and say Paramatman is here, because everything is Paramatman.
Yeah.
But when that Paramatman comes as a reflection and is encased within a bodily frame, it becomes a Jivatman, which is just a reflection. So ultimately, in this case, when Swami is saying the gross, the subtle, the causal, in terms of saying within, it feels as if it is contained, but actually it contains. Literally what we perceive of the world outside is based on our mind. So in fact, that is the way it directs. So likewise, how the mind emerges, it emerges from the causal, which is the Atman, which is nothing but how that Manas, Buddhi, Chitta, Ankara, whatever you said, Auntie, all of those are again emerging from that single, whether we call it as Jivatman or a reflection of the Paramatman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a lot of words have been used here, but...
So this inside Jivatma, the Jivatma, it's prompter and spring.
Yeah. Prompter, of course, it is the one.
It's a Paramatma.
Yeah.
It's a Paramatma, prompter and spring.
I think here Swami is just mentioning only about the Jivatma, Auntie. Still, like Swami has not got, like he says...
Yes, he doesn't say...
He's talking about, gross, subtle and causal. Swami has not gone to the prima causal or the Mahakarana, or that part Swami has...
So its prompter and spring...
It's not in Telugu.
Refers to which one?
Sakkuji.
Yeah.
that prompter and spring is not written in Telugu. Swami, what he writes, it doesn't have these two words, prompter and spring. Telugu doesn't contain.
So that portion confuses more.
Prompter and spring have been used by whoever has translated it as that subtle principle which is giving life to everything. That's what he means. That subtle principle within us, which is prompting, which is giving this thing to everything. Still, Sakuji is confused.
No. Now I think the prompter and spring refers to Jivatma.
Yeah, it refers to Jivatma.
Yeah, okay. Because I don't want to go further without understanding.
Yeah, of course, you are very correct. You are very correct. And at the same time, he says that that Jivatma, that Atma within us, it has no beginning, it has no end. And it knows no death, it has no birth.
Yeah.
That is the basis of all our belief. That soul within us, it travels, it's always, it's eternal, but the body changes. All the changes are taking place in the body. Body ages, body has got disease, body has got so many problems. Everything belongs to body, but not to the Atman which is inside us. Atman is just a Sakshi. It is a witness of all the things which are going in our body.
I have read and studied that Atma is just a witness, seeing what the drama, the senses, and the mind is doing.
Yeah, it is witnessing.
It's witnessing. Then how can it be a prompter?
No, not. It is giving life to everything, whatever is happening inside the body. It is the life giver. So this is a jada. The whole body is jada.
Jada, I know.
Mind is jada. My intellect is jada. Body is jada. It has no life. Who is giving the life to all these things? It is that Atman. That Atman which is. That's why he takes that.
Okay.
Understood. And just to your thing, I think what Mani Aunty also was mentioning is that prompter word is not there in Telugu.
Yeah.
It's not there in what Swami has written. It's just got translated in that manner.
Okay. So I will remove that.
I think the translator promptly put that and that caused this thing, but it's okay.
Okay, sorry. I am confusing everybody.
Sister Shivani also has her hand.
Yeah, Sister Shivani has her, yeah.
Sai Ram, I'm just thinking, you know how, if it's related, I'm just thinking, so of course, first of all, we can't see mind, right? It's so subtle. That's why it's saying it's subtle.
Yeah.
How Swami has said that it's the mind, if you, it can attach you to the worldly thing or it liberate you. What can liberate us? I think that's the prompt, and it's so subtle. If we realize the existence of that Jivatma, definitely it will help. So I think there's a layers of subtleness at every level, because you can't see the mind, and within the mind, the prompter, which we call the Jivatma, which will help us to realize our true self. I don't know if it makes sense, but that's how I have envisioned that this Atma is me, but doesn't have any body and mind. This is me. It's not external thing. That is me. And who is witnessing that is me. And it's so subtle, you can't see. You can't see the existence. It's just, if you live in that existence, it helps you to realize your true self. I don't know if it, but that's how I have kind of see myself, want to see myself. Sorry if I confused further.
Sai Ram, could it refer to consciousness?
Yes, it is consciousness only. The other name for Chaitanya is consciousness. Consciousness, which is which you can call it as Atma.
So we have conscious, conscience, and consciousness.
Yes.
Oh my God. Can you give the words?
That is Swami
No, we
says.
shouldn't get unconscious with that, but yeah. But it is at the three. It is, yeah, you have conscious, again, at the realm of the body. Then you have conscience.
Conscience.
And then you have the consciousness. So yeah, again, the Atman that steps in.
Yeah.
So yeah, but in essence, to what Sister Shivani also was mentioning is ultimately, if we take if we take a rock and we keep sculpting away, so a sculptor makes a beautiful image of the Lord, say Lord Krishna, and they ask the sculptor, how come you arrived at this beautiful image of the Lord in that stone? It's such a beautiful sculpture, and all he says is, I chiseled away what is not the Lord, and what was left is only the Lord. So that way, if we chisel away what we are not, in terms of not the body, not the mind, what is left behind is the Atman, which is what we need to. So every time it is about reinforcing where we are, to know, to sculpt ourselves in that process of realizing who we really are. So
consciousness means awareness?
Yes, awareness. You can call awareness. You can call consciousness. You can call Atma. Sai Satish?
Yes,
consciousness is Atma, right?
Yes, consciousness
is Atma.
Atma. Conscience, I think it is mind says that, I think. Sai Satish, is it correct?
Manasakshi.
Manasakshi. Ama, Manasakshi.
Yes, Auntie. So in terms of how, so we have at a level of the body, we are conscious.
Conscious, yeah.
At the level of the
mind,
where the antakarana and ahankara, all of that comes to conscience.
Yeah.
But what we truly are is that consciousness, which is the Atman.
Atman.
Correct, correct.
That makes very clear.
Sai Satish, Shilpa has written in the chat. Please read it out.
Oh, sure, Auntie. So, Sister Shilpa says that when Atma wears cloth of body, it calls Jivatma.
Jivatma.
Atma will be witness of all karma done by Jiva.
Yeah, that's correct. We are discussing the same.
Thanks, Sister Shilpa.
Thanks. The subtler it is, the expansive, the more expansive it is. That we have to understand. Just like how water is gross, ice is still, ice is very gross, and then when it melts, it becomes water. Water, when it is evaporated, becomes steam, and the steam expands itself into so many, I mean, in all directions.
So Shivani is right, there are layers.
We are wearing a cloth like body.
Thank you.
Anyone else has any other points to bring up?
Thanks to all.
Shakuji, last time you asked about Jyotish Shastra, is it Veda? You asked. Jyotishyam. Jyotishyam is
astrology.
You asked me, but I can give you the other 5 links.
You said it is in Veda Vidya.
Last time you asked, just like asked the question, where is Jyotishyam? Is it Veda? Part of Veda, you asked me.
Yeah.
So I can give you the exact this thing.
Okay.
They are called Vedangas. Angas of the Veda. Limbs of Veda.
Vedanga. Okay.
One is Shiksha. Shiksha means phonetics.
Shiksha?
Shiksha.
Okay.
Phonetics.
Politics?
Phonetics, yeah. And the second one is Chandas.
Chandas.
Chandas is prosody. How you poems are written in Chandas, you know. 6 lines. And then
meter.
Meter.
Yeah.
And then third one is Vyakarana, that is grammar.
Grammar.
And the fourth one is Nirukta. Nirukta means etymology.
What is called?
Etymology.
I couldn't hear it.
Etymology. E-T-Y-M-O.
E-T-Y.
M-O.
M-O.
M-O-L-O-G-Y.
Okay.
Etymology.
What does it mean? Yeah.
Just
That's for the music or dance or not?
Etymology is I think the word, how it comes, how is formed, the verb, from which word it is coming, like that.
Study of the words, kind of.
Origin of the word.
Origin.
Yeah.
And Jyotisha is, astrology and astronomy, both.
Astrology and astronomy.
Jyotisha. And the sixth one is Kalpa. That is how the ceremonials and rites, how they are done, is called Kalpa.
Kalpa means what?
Kalpa, all the ceremonies and other things are explained there in Kalpa. That is one yuga. How?
Oh, yuga.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So these are called Vedangas, the limbs of the Veda.
Yeah.
Upaveda, Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Gandharva Veda, and Stapati. All these are another part of.
So
Veda.
even poetic, politics also is in Veda.
Yeah, it is in there. Shiksha. It's called Shiksha. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Apart from what we are reading, just I wanted to.
No, thank you. I wrote it down, but I didn't write Vedanga.
Doesn't matter. You just go through it and then.
Very good. Thank you.
Shall we go to the next paragraph or?
Sure, Auntie. If there's no other thing we could go.
If there is no question, then we can go.
Okay. One other article of faith. This is a unique feature of Bharatiya mental equipment. Until the individualized soul gets liberated from the individualization and merges in the universal, thus attaining moksha or liberation, it has to encase itself in one body after another and go through the process called living. This idea is held by no other people. This is the samsara idea, which the ancient texts of Sastras of India reveal and propagate. Samsara means the movement into one form after another. All the different schools and sects among the Bharatiyas accept this fact that the Atmas, apparently individualized, are eternal and incapable of being affected by change. They may differ in describing or denoting the relationship between the Atma and Ishvara, or God. One school of thinkers may posit that the two are ever separate. Another may declare that the Jivatma is a spark in the universal flame of fire that Ishvara is. A third may assert that the two are undifferentiated. But the truth remains that the Atma is beginningless and endless. Since it is not born, it has no death. Its individualized image has to evolve through a series of bodies until it attains fulfillment in the human. All schools are in upholding this faith, in spite of the variety of their other interpretations.
Okay. Just quite a
bit.
Quite a bit. ఇంకొకటి జీవుడు మోక్షమంది ఇక I think Sai Satish.
Yes, Auntie. Maybe a little more shorter words. I can.
ఇంకొకటి one more thing. జీవుడు మోక్షమంది ఇక జన్మించవలసిన అవసరము లేని స్థితికి వచ్చు వరకు ఒక శరీరము పిదప మరొక శరీరమును చుండునను అసాధారణ భావం ఒకటి భారతీయులకు గలదు. I think you get the idea. You don't have to what I say.
Yes, Andy. I can paraphrase it by.
Paraphrase it.
Yeah, in the sense that the Bharatiya culture believes in the fact that the Jivatma takes goes from body to body. Is that what, Auntie? I'm just saying.
Body to body until it reaches, until it gets moksha.
Yeah, until it gets moksha.
Moksha. This asadharana bhavam okati Bharatiyaluku galadu.
This is the feeling that the Bharatiyas hold.
Yeah. It's an extraordinary belief, asadharana bhavam. Extraordinary belief is with the Bharatiyas. They believe in it. That is, until the jiva attains moksha, it keeps on taking one sharira, one body after the other. That's the belief of our Bharatiyas. Ee bhavamu lokamuna mare itara jatulo ledu.
This feeling, it's not there in other cultures.
Yeah. Idi Bharatiya Shastramulo prakatinchu samsara siddhantamu.
This philosophy is reflected in the Bharatiya culture.
That's samsara.
This concept of samsara, is reflected in the Bharatiya culture or philosophy, Auntie?
Bharatiya Shastramulu.
In the sacred texts of the Bharatiyas.
Yeah, correct. They declare that this is as a samsara, prakatinchu samsara siddhantamu. Atmala yokka nityattvamanu gurchina siddhantamu.
It is based on the permanent nature of the Atman.
Atman, yeah. Manaloni vividha shakala varu ekagrivuga angikarinchu vishayamulalo idi okati. All the different schools
align with this thinking, Auntie?
Manaloni vividha shakala, many branches we have. Among the many branches what we have, but they all agree and accept this fact that ekagrivaga uniformly grivana this head
unanimous
unanimous declaration by all branches of our philosophy. ఆత్మకును ఈశ్వరునికి గల సంబంధ విషయములలో మన భావములో భేదించవచ్చును.
The relationship between the Atma and Ishvara, one can always debate upon.
Yeah. ఒక మతము ప్రకారము ఈశ్వరుడు ఆత్మ సర్వదా భిన్న వస్తువులు.
According to one thought process, the Atma and Ishvara are two different things.
Yeah. మరొక మతం ప్రకారం ఈ అనంత వాహినిలో ఇది ఒక కణము.
In another line of thinking, in the perennial flow, this is a part of that.
Yeah, one part of the whole thing. వేరొక మత ప్రకారం రెండును అభిన్నములు.
In another thought process, they both are one and the same, are undivided.
Undivided. Kani Atma adyantarahitamu.
But Atma is beginningless or endless.
Less. పుట్టుకలేనిది కనుక మరణము కూడా లేదు.
Since it has no birth, it doesn't have death as well.
అది మానవ శరీరమందు పరిపూర్ణత సాధించుకున్నంత వరకు ఇతర దేహములో అనేకములను పరిణామ against the same thing what's until
it attains fulfillment and it keeps taking different bodies.
Different bodies. ఈ పరిణామ క్రమమున ధరించుచుండును.
Till it attains fulfillment, it keeps taking different bodies.
ఈ మూల భావమునకు హాని లేనిచో ఈ అభిప్రాయము అందరికీ ఏకీభావము.
Everybody is united in this thinking.
Basic belief, moola bhavanam. That basic belief, if there is no harm to this basic belief, that's well and good. Abhiprayamu andariki eki bhavam. And then she has read it.
Till there only, Auntie. Till there only.
Yeah, only that much. It's quite full.
Yes, Auntie.
basically what Swami is trying to tell here is the relationship between Atma and Ishvara. One school of thought thinks that it is Atma is different and Ishvara is different. Ishvara creates the world and he is the creator and the creation. Whatever is created is creation. Another school thinks that they declare that Jivatma is just only a spark. It is just Jivamsha, one Amsha, one spark of the whole divine flame which is inside us, and they think that it is the whole universe from where this Jivatma is born. So the relationship here is that full is there and part is there. So the third school of thought thinks that Abheda, there is no difference at all between Ishvara and the creation. Creator and creation, there is no difference. So actually what he's saying is that the Dvaitam, Vishishtadvaitam and Advaitam. That's what he is, in the paragraph, what he is saying.
Yes, Sandy.
The first one is Dvaitam. Atma is different, Ishvara is different.
That is Dvaita.
Dvaita. Another thing is that it's only a small part of the whole thing is called Vishishtadvaita. We are a part in the whole. That is what the Vishishtadvaitam tells. And Advaitam tells there is no difference at all. Both are same. We are Brahman. Brahman is in us.
What is the second one you said?
Vishishtadvaitam of Ramanuja. That school of thought is called Vishishtadvaitam.
Thank you.
Yes, Sister Narmata has her hand up.
Yeah, just a question. So is the concept of Atma and Jivatma is pretty much like the Vishishtadvaitam, where you are saying the Jivatma is an essence of Atma? Or am I completely... Because why would we say Jivatma versus Atma?
Yeah. Sai Satish, can you go on?
Yes, Auntie. So, if we take the example of Hanuman, sister, Hanuman says to Lord Rama when he asks him the question, he says,
you and I are your Lord and I am your servant.
Yes, Auntie. So he says, Deha buddhyastu dasoham. At the level of the body, I am your servant. Jiva buddhyastu tavevaham. I am a part of you when I look at it from the level of the Jivatma. And when it is seen at the level of Atman, right? Atma buddhya. So Deha buddhyastu dasoham. Jiva buddhyastu tavevaham. Atma buddhya tvamevaham. I and you are one. So from the point of view, when we say Jivatma, and when we see division, like what you're asking, if you are seeing division, so that can be reflected as Vishishtadvaita, because the Jivatma is still perceived as a reflection of the Paramatma.
Right.
So like what Hanuman also said, at the level of when I see myself as a Jivatma, then obviously you are Paramatma. But when I see myself as the Atman, there is no difference between you and me, which is Advaita. So in Hanuman, when he is at the level of the body, you will see Dvaita. When he speaks at the level of the Jivatma, you will see Vishishtadvaita. And when he speaks at the level of the Atman, you will see him speak as Advaita. So you can really see one devotee who embodied all the three schools of thought the way it is later on when Madhvacharya and all these, right, whether it is Shankaracharya and Madhvacharya and Ramanujacharya, all of these three people who propagated the individual thing, you can see all of it epitomized in just one answer that Rama or Hanuman gave to Lord Rama when he asked. So that is how. So to your thing, yes, the Jivatma is a part of the Paramatma that becomes Vishishtadvaita.
Thank you.
Anybody else who wants to say about this?
I thought somebody had their hand up. And
yeah. Who is it?
I thought I saw, but I'm not sure.
So it's there's a one word is nicely mentioned. This is the way we describe, right? So how we look at it, different point of views, different, but these are the descriptions. There are three way of they are looking at it, right?
Yeah. The relationship.
Relationship, yeah.
Between Atma and Ishvara.
Yeah, Atma and Ishvara, there's a Advaita. Then the second one is we are spark of divine kind of. And the third one is we have to lose our individualization to merge with the Paramatma. That's the Jivatma to Paramatma.
That's Advaita. That's yes. But
thank you.
Can I Narmada's question? What is the Jiva and Jivatma? Why do we differentiate between? What is the difference there? Actually, this Jiva, what is called Atma and Jiva. Atma is the Chaitanya or the consciousness which is present in us. Jivatma is a bundle of all the consciousness plus body plus intellect plus everything is called Jivatma. It's a bundle together. I hope I have made it clear. Narmada?
Yes, Sandy, thank you. Yes. Thank you.
Atma is the pure consciousness, which is the divinity in us. When it is bundled with Sharira, with body, with mind, with intellect, then it becomes Jivatma.
Thank you.
It's like...
sorry, go ahead, please.
No, I was just going to say, Andy, if we have baggage, you're Jivatma. If you don't have baggage, you're Paramatma, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
We have the baggage and then we are free.
We have the body, we have the intellect, we have everything as a baggage.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly. And, yeah.
The baggage with the individualization. You baggage only, you make it separate.
Baggage has got no life.
Yeah, if you give up that luggage, then you will come as one.
Yeah, and that's where I think anything that we do, it's better that we don't put, like I don't put my name on it. It should always be in the name of
the Lord.
Baba. If it is done in the name of Rama, Krishna, Swami, then even if it is anyway bad is one thing, we don't want it. Even good, I think we should not want it, because if we get good, also you have to come back to settle the account. So always it is better to do Sarva Karma Bhagavat Prityartham. Swami would say, offer everything as this is Swami's work, this is Swami's work. Swami, you have to do it. Whatever is the thing, you please take care. That continuous feeling will ensure that we get rid of the baggage. Or else if anywhere on that baggage our name is written, it will come back to our address. So that is the problem. And yeah, Sister Vani, I see your hand up.
So I have a question, brother. So here it refers to the samsara, the birth and life, that's a cycle. And then there is another word called samskara. So how that samskara, I understand, is the karmic karma impacts of the karma. So how the karma goes with the samsara, like the life, the cycle of death and birth and death.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Anyone?
So, Satish, please go ahead if you want.
After you're going to say something, I can wait.
No, she says samskara and samsara. How is it connected? Samskara is what you have done in the past, all the things which you have learned, you have gone through. That is samskara. It gives you the past life's results in this life. And that decides where you are going in the next life. That's samsara. Samsara means samsarati. It is movement of that body from one body to another one. That is samsara. I think, yeah, please go ahead, Satish. Sai Satish.
Yes, Anji. So, so when the samskara has resulted in the Jivatma realizing that they are Paramatma, then they don't have to deal with samsara again. So the samskara is the process of refinement, samskarana, And so long as that refinement leads one to realize that they are not the body, they are not the mind, that they are the Atman, then that process of samsara ceases. Because again, the same thing in terms of what we have as the mind, so long as the mind is there, then we know vasanas exist. So long as vasanas exist, then to fulfill all of those vasanas and face the whole thing of whatever karma and everything, again birth happens. That is where again punarapi jananam punarapi maranam, Swami would keep saying that again and again. Samsara keeps going on and on till the process of the samskarana happens to a point where refinement helps the Jivatma realize that they are the Paramatma. So how we would have repeatedly the gold has to go through the process of refinement to ultimately become that ornament kind of a thing. So if we are able to have the samskarana done in a manner that it helps us realize who we truly are, then even for a realized soul, even if they are born into this world, they are not affected by the process of cause and effect because they are established in the Atman. And I think that is where the samskara or refinement process should help us know who we truly are. I don't know if that answered your question, sister, but
yes,
yeah,
thank you, brother. I just wanted to understand, one is just the birth and death, just the cycle, and the other one is what influences that life, birth and death. Yeah.
Exactly.
So each birth is given for us to go on that process of refinement. That in samsara we can improve upon our samskara. Okay.
In a way, I think the refinement, but to have the refinement, we need to have this
life
recoming, because otherwise, where do we apply the refinement? We need this cycle.
Yes, exactly.
You need this birth and death to make you birthless and deathless.
Yeah, yes, correct.
So,
another meaning of samsara is samsarati. Samsarati iti samsaraha. That is, sarati means to move. It moves. That is why it's called samsara. Because this body is going again and again in the cycle, it's moving. So that is called samsara.
I think that applies to even Jagat, no, Jagat, it comes and goes. So anything that filled with movement,
yeah,
I think gets us back.
Yeah, Jagat.
Anyone else has anything to share on this?
Do you think that maybe the word life cycle came from this? Maybe like moving like a cycle.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like a samsara, I guess.
Cycle.
Yeah.
Cycle of birth and death.
Exactly.
But at the same time, Swami is saying that Atma is beginningless and endless. It has no change. It is eternal. It's neither born nor dies. So that part of it we have to remember. Whereas the death takes place only for the body. And until we attain that moksha, one is born again and again and encase ourselves in one body. And that we have to go through that process until we reach that end.
I think, yeah, I think until you reach a state where there is no, as brother, as I mentioned before, I think even if you maintain some good karma, the balance is not zero. You have to come back again to get it. Even if you're having too much good, also not good for you, because you need to come back and get rid of that until you get zero. Like a plus and minus should be equal. Then, so that's why it's better to be quiet and calm, like not very. It's very interesting. Too much positive also not good. Too much negative also not good.
Too much good you do, you go to Swargaloka and enjoy that phala, that result.
But it's not moksham. But I come back again.
It's not moksham. You have to come back again. after that balance is over.
Yes, auntie. Auntie, I see Sakku auntie has raised her hand.
Yeah. I just want to know, beginless and deathless means the Jiva, the Atma. Atma is merging with something.
With Paramatma.
Paramatma. So it becomes one with Paramatma.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
After that, there is no birth, there is no death.
Yeah.
When
Becoming one.
It merges with Paramatma.
Thank you.
Sairam, I just wanted to know, all schools are one in upholding this faith. What is that was referred by that? Or which all schools are? Which thoughts?
With Dvaita. Dvaita.
Schools are one in upholding this faith. What is that is referred with?
Auntie, sister is asking about the 3 schools of thought that is mentioned.
Yeah.
The 3 schools of thought are Dvaita, Vishishta Dvaita, and Advaita. Those are the 3 schools of thought that have always been in Bharatiya culture.
Yes.
Where each of the acharyas have propagated that school of thought. So you're saying all schools are upholding in this faith. So that is where they always believe in the Atma and Ishvara, sister.
Oh, they are trying to tell they believe on Atma. All 3 schools. That's the
Atma.
common one. Okay.
Idea of samsara, Atma, and liberation.
Okay.
Not
Great.
nothing.
Thanks.
The concept of having the school thoughts agrees that there is something called Atma. I think that Swami is getting an understanding, clarity. Everybody agrees at this point there is something called Atma. Some people may call Atma and Paramatma different something. Some people call they same. All those things, but Atma exists. That's the common
Atma
agreement.
exists. That is the school of okay.
Common
That's
agreement was
very
there.
nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And also in terms of when we say even for like Dvaita, the concept of again that what was said, right? You have the devotee and God. So the aspect of God, Atman, Ishvara is always permanent in across all the 3 states. So and to earlier thing of what Sakku auntie had raised also, it's like Swami would always say this. Body is like a water bubble.
Sorry.
So in terms of how the it emerges, so you have the absolute flow of perennial consciousness, and how whether it's the body or the mind, it emerges and then it merges back. So always there is the perennial flow, and anything that manifests in the universe is coming out of that perennial flow for some reason, because it had some desire to fulfill, something to be taken care of. It emerges and then it dissolves. Till that aspect of becoming totally desireless, it will keep taking some form, some shape, and then goes back. So that keeps happening. And I see Sister Kalyani, you have your hand up.
Sorry, in the second last sentence, I've just written out till it attains fulfillment, it keeps taking different bodies. I was just wondering, does it, is it referring to something specific? I think it says Adi Manava Shariram.
Yeah. Adi Manava Shariramunandu Paripurnata Sadinchukonanta Varaku, until it fulfills all its what is it? Paripurnata is become full, like
fulfillment.
Complete.
It becomes until it becomes complete or full. Itara dehamulano anekamalano, different bodies it takes. Parinama kramamuna, as a result, it goes on dharinchu chundunanu. It goes on wearing that. Moola bhavamunako, this basic belief, if it is not hurting any of these beliefs, ee abhiprayamo andariki eki bhavam. This opinion of others also is good enough for all schools.
Yes, Auntie. And in that context, that it is being referred to as the Jivatma. The Jivatma is taking repeatedly coming into different gross bodies till it attains fulfillment. So that, sister, I think it's referring to the Jivatma.
And then when it says Manava Sharira Munandu, it means in the human
body,
form?
in the body of human body, in the human body.
So till the Jivatma attains fulfillment in the human body?
Yeah, in the body.
Yes.
It goes on taking other bodies.
Okay.
More like till the Jivatma becomes Jivan Mukta, it keeps taking again and again. It has to attain, when in body, it has to attain fulfillment, meaning attain the realization that it is completely not the body. Then I think it attains fulfillment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think in the previous discussion we discussed, I think to get the moksha, that the final, the balance equivalent state would happen only when you have the human body. So until then you may have different Atma can go to different bodies, but finally when it gets to a situation where you're almost close to the Jivatma, if you calculate the percentage point of view, the final step has to go through the human body.
Yeah.
So,
It's only through human body one can attain that paripurnata, that fullness.
So until then you may end up taking different bodies, but that's what he was referring to. The it is Atma there.
Thanks, brother. See, Sister Shivani, your hand is up. You're speaking on mute, sister.
Yeah, sorry. This reminds me, once I was listening to Dr. Sri Kanshula. I don't know how many of you know, but he was mentioning that either he was mentioning him or Swami has mentioned the biggest service this body can do is to help this Atma to realize or merge with Swami. The biggest seva is that if we look at seva part of it, that's the biggest seva we can do. So it's this body, let's use this body to help this Atma to merge with Bhagawan, and which is basically constantly contemplating and, creating that awareness of who am I? Because yes, body at external level, yes, you can help destitute, but if you realize you have a biggest, I would say,
opportunity,
duty to help, to help through this body, help your Atma to realize, to merge with Bhagavan. Sairam, just to add that.
Yes.
Thanks, sister. And just to add to that there, I think, Swami always says the greatest, how can you ensure that you don't trouble your mother again, is because you have already troubled in being born once with all of those 9 months that the mother had to take care and then deliver the baby. The greatest thing that can be offered is to realize how not to be born again. So again, we don't go through that same process. So I think,
Wow.
Swami always says, that is we should keep that as the goal.
To add to this thing, see, it's only through human body. It is the intellect which helps us, with the body helps. All these parts of our body help us to realize who we are. And it's only in the human birth we can do that. Not in the birth of an animal, or for animals, they don't strive to get back to their original source. We are the ones, human body is given to us only to realize that we are not this body, we are not this mind, we are not this intellect, we are that self which is within us. So you can realize only with the help of a body. Sairam.
Thanks, Auntie. I see, Sako Auntie, I see your hand up.
Yes. I need clarification from Satish. You said Jivan Mukta state is fulfillment, right?
Yes.
It is attain fulfillment in the human.
Yes.
So the fulfillment that is Jivan Mukta means your karmic balance has to be 0, 1. 2, you should be desireless. 3, you have to be pleasing the Lord the way you lead your life. or attaining sannyasa. Is that?
Yes,
sannyasa is the last one, right?
So, like what Swami says, ideally it should be the head of Shankara, heart of Buddha, and hands of Janaka. So, in the sense, it should be at the level of the mind, it is complete sannyasa that has come. Because karma, right? Karma, to close balance sheet of karma is very difficult.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Yeah, we cannot close the balance sheet of karma because we keep breathing till we breathe.
Yeah.
For every inhalation, there is exhalation. For every breathing process that goes on, again, the same thing what we discussed earlier. We don't know what organisms we are destroying or what we are doing. But what can happen is the state of mind for a Jivan Mukta goes to a level where they no longer are holding the balance sheet in their name. The whole thing is in the name of the Lord.
That's right.
Yeah. So like what Swami, when Swami also had a fall, again the same thing. When students ask Swami, are you going through a lot of suffering kind? Swami said, there is pain, there is no suffering. So at the level of the body, for the Jivan Mukta, there will be pain because there is some wound, there is something happening, there will be pain. But at the level of the mind, because the mind has identified itself with the Atman, it will no longer go through suffering. It will no longer go through success, defeat. That same thing what Krishna has said, Auntie. Sukha dukkhe samye kritva labho jaya. So whether it is victory, defeat, success, failures, joy, sorrow, happiness, everything it will start treating as same. And that is where the Jivan Mukta feels no difference between what they are doing and what God is doing, because they are always established in the Atman. But at the level of the desires, they become desireless. The only desire for them may be Loka Kalyanam, in terms of welfare of the world. That would be the only reason for which they exist. So Jivan Mukta is always being established in the level of the Atman. But yeah, in terms of karma, that may still bind, but it won't be at the level of suffering. It will be only at the level of pain. I don't know if I answered your question, Andy, but yeah.
So this Janaka?
Yeah, Janaka, like he was a rishi, right? Though he was staying in the kingdom and playing the role of a king, we know how he became a Brahmagyani when I think it was Ashtavakra who asks for the king's mind. He asks for King Janaka's mind and he gives it to him completely. And there is a story that goes how he tests Janaka out of that, and finally he attains Brahmagyana. So he is there in the world, but he is established in the Atman. And because he is established in the Atman, whatever he does as the king, he plays his role to perfection. So that is where I think, yeah, staying always connected to the Jiva, the Paramatma, the Jivatma attains the state of Jivan Mukta or Jivan Mukti.
And just to add to that, I think we learned in the past as well that Janaka, he was a self-realized soul. So he was ruling, but he was unaffected. I think that one time the question came as well. When you are realized soul, can you still be in the world? Of course, yes, you have to do your duty, but you are like, yes, you're not inflicted by anything around you. You do your duty. You are the king, he's doing, but not affected by anything.
Thank you, sister. Thanks, Andy.
I have a Auntie, you have mentioned that only in human form you can attain mukti, but there are stories that other form of animals have attained mukti kind of. So that is the word that has been used as a human. The human, I always believe human quality in that context only, we have to look at it. Or you think it's as a human body. I think body, instead of body, human quality will take you to the mukti stage, kind of like you realize yourself. That's how I thought the mukti attained. Just Auntie was saying that body, then I was thinking.
Aruna,
yes.
Sister Aruna, I don't know about animals getting the mukti. I'm not sure about that. But Swami here says, until it attains fulfillment in the human form. Swami is saying, because we are equipped with that intellect, that discrimination, all the things which are, when we use our intellect to do our karmas. That helps us to get to that fulfillment. So human birth is very necessary for us. In fact, the human birth has come to us only because of our past good karmas.
Yeah, so, and the humans, they are animal people. I'm just saying, because this one we discussed before too. So I was reminded with that, because humans also behave like animals. There are
of course,
animals behave like a human.
Yeah.
Or the human, Swami referring to the human qualities, that what is the good qualities to attain mukti.
Yeah.
So not the body kind of, I was thinking, and I thought it.
Yeah, correct. Animal man. One can be animal man. One can be man. One can be deva man and deva.
Yes.
Deva manusha. So only such good habits, good attributes which we follow, then that will take us to fulfillment. You mean not the animals, man in the who behaves like an animal. You mean that, I think.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the thing, human qualities.
Human quality.
Any form. Yeah. Thank you, Saira.
I think
Sister,
just
to add to that, it's very interesting that you pointed out that, how we can be animating, but still I believe that in human body, that subtle mind is there. We are not recognizing, even though we behave like animals, but that subtle mind is still, I think it's a very pious birth, because we are not realizing that subtleness is still there. The day we will wake up, we can wake up over that subtleness as well. So even if that human body might behave like animal, but still I believe that human birth is very, very pious one, because it has that mind, that subtleness is still existing. It's just we need to wake that up. So
thank you.
Thanks, sister. Sakwanti, you had
to add? I just wanted to just explain to you, Sai Gita, in her previous birth, she was a jnani. She requested Swami that she wants to come in any form and be with him next birth. Even though he was fully intellect, what I can say, Purna sannyasi state, he requested that he or she wanted to be with Swami for the next birth. That's why Sai Gita came. And when she died, Baba, at the funeral, he said, this Sai Gita, she will not get any more birth. I gave her this birth because she asked from me that she wanted to come and stay with me. So there also the human body has helped Sai Gita to know the importance of Parabrahma, and she seeked the blessing of Baba and came as Sai Gita, completed her
journey.
Her journey with lot of devotion. Baba has said to the children, you drink this Sai Gita's urine, you might become more devoted to us.
Correct.
So you can see how devoted she was. So
Silent.
this answers Aruna's question, Shivani's question, and Bashir Auntie's explanation. So this is a very good, unique example.
Yeah,
Thank you,
there's a
Auntie.
one story also. There's a Muni. He was attached to the deer and born as a deer to a king. So I'm just reminded about that also. I just wanted to add to it. Thank you. Yeah, Jadabartha, yeah.
To just add to that, how many animals and plants and so on have we heard? We know Jatayu, we know Gajendra, we know Sai Gita.
Yeah.
So we can literally count on our finger
on the animals.
We can all the animals that have gone straight to God because of their human actions or divine actions.
Yeah.
Right? But if we have to go, like first we have to do primary, we have to do secondary, we have to do university, then only we finally get graduation, right? Very rarely people get double promotion and all of that and hop, skip and jump.
Yeah.
Very rarely. So in terms of probability also, that is where the number of animals and all that who have directly reached the Lord has been very few. We also know that story of Narada going and telling Narayana, Narayana in the ears of a parrot, and then that parrot had to be reborn, and then that whole story he goes again and again, and finally that when the child, that same being had to go through all of that journey and be born as a king's in the king's palace, and then finally that child tells how that name of Narayana is going to help him reach the Lord. So in the cycle of evolution, that is why Swami keeps telling again and again, Jantu Nam Narajanma Durlabham. Because to get the human birth is the rarest of the all. If it is to get the rarest of the all, that means it is the highest in the cycle. And in that way, that is the closest. Humanity is the closest to divinity. And so that is where, in terms of a logical thing, and if you go through plant, animal, human, and then God. So that whole process keeps that way. So even though we have such examples, they are very few in nature, which again and again reinforces the value of a human birth and using the human birth as a medium to reach divinity. Because the probability of reaching divinity through humanity is greater than the probability of reaching divinity through animality. Like when you have animal birth, it's more a difficult jump to do than the human birth.
Yeah.
Sairam, even Devas, Baba says, Devas, they have to come, they look forward to come as a human to reach God, to liberate their souls.
Yes, Andy. The only problem is when we are humans, we want to become Devas. When we are Devas, we want to become humans. That is it.
I know.
Because people think they want to go to heaven and then enjoy.
So these examples of Jatayu, Gajendra, or Sai Gita, these are very rare examples.
Very rare. Very rare.
Auntie, what I'm trying to tell is the human quality will take, not the human form the body will take, kind of, because human body, obviously we can easily build the human quality, but in animals it's hard. But anything human quality only, that was the last discussion, so I thought it was just to bring it back only.
Okay.
Quality only can take, kind of. That's all I just wanted to.
That divine quality, sister, not even
the
quality.
Human qualities, human quality, the human values, what is latent within us, that the full, that is divine quality. Yes, obviously, the values are divine qualities. When those ones only can, that's what I was trying to understand. Is the Swami says is a human, we always refer to our human bodies, but in human also there are people are not like human, right? You can talk.
That we agree.
So they will be born like animals in future. They don't take the human form again and again. That's my thing.
Aruna, we don't know whether they are going to be born as animals.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We can't say, we can't declare.
Yeah, but human quality definitely will take it. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sister. Yes, Brother Prasad.
No, I think, yeah, I mean, I just want to add, human qualities are always there because we got this form, so we had to use it as effectively as possible. But to the generalizing the, if you need to define, I mean, to get a moksham, it has to get to the human form first. Only the few exceptions are those 5, 6 that they talked about.
Yeah.
They're exceptions because of the pre-agreement, just like what somebody's like, guy Sai Gita asked in the previous birth, I want to come back. So Swami gave that exception route. Okay, come here and go from here, kind of that. But otherwise, if you expecting a moksham through the non-human form is it's not possible unless you have a pre-agreement with God.
Even Gajendra was in a human form before.
Yeah.
Wonderful discussion. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much.
Anyway, I think it is time is over now, 4:30. Can we close? Sathya Sai Satish?
Sure, Auntie.
Okay. Sorry if we have committed some wrong things, wrong statements. Please excuse us. Sairam.
Auntie, it's a nice discussion.
Thank you, Sai,
Because
Satish,
of
and
discussion only we
Auntie.
are getting clarity, right?
Please, we all thank you. We are very
Thank
grateful.
you so much for everyone.
Okay.
Swami only is guiding all of us. But
Yeah.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, Sathya Sai
Yes,
Satish.
Auntie, we'll close it. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.